the one that they've labeled is we're living in an AI summer,
Yep.
where if you sort of look at the graph, and this is what's hard about being on a podcast with only audio, but if you look at the graph of sort of citations per year, number of AI citations and journal articles per year, that percentage or number, and you look at that graph over the years, it's sort of from 2000, it kind of is rising up, and then it kind of maybe plateaus or even goes down a bit to where I remember people were talking about, hey, well, now we're just like the peak has happened and now we're just sort of going back into some type of winter or normality or something like that. But then it comes sharply back up again in 2019 and 2020.
This chart I found really, really interesting because we've had that conversation ourselves. And I've been one of those people that was a little bit disappointed. But if you look at the dates on it, with it rising steadily up to 2013, 14, and then kind of taking a dip over the next few years, and then once again starting that uptrend in 2019, it made me realize the perception of what's happening in AI trails the publications of the research papers a bit. Because if you look at the over 3 years you and I have been doing the show, a good bit of those early episodes, we're kind of catching up and us educating ourselves and educating folks in our audience about all the research that had already happened. And then we kind of went through that, and I was, going back to me at the beginning of the show talking about whining. I'll whine a little for a second. And I was whining that, wow, it hasn't felt like we had big breakthrough things like we used to feel like were happening a lot. But I think we have. It's just taking us a little while for those to get out in the space and people to take advantage of it. At least that's how I'm interpreting the data I'm looking at, given the little bit of time lag. So I would say that bodes very, very well for us continuing to have these great conversations.